All right, let's dive into the world of a creature that could literally be in your backyard right now. Ixodes ricinus, better known as the sheep tick. It's tiny, it's incredibly common, and honestly, it's one of the biggest public health threats hiding in plain sight all across Europe. So, just how big of a deal is this? Well, let's start with a number. In the Netherlands alone, it's estimated that people get bitten by ticks 1.5 million times every single year. Yeah, that's the kind of massive scale we're dealing with.
And here's the number that really should get your attention. Out of all those ticks, about 1 in 5, around 20%, is carrying the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. So you see, this isn't just some annoying bug bite, it's a serious health risk hiding out in our parks and forests.
Okay, so let's really dig into this tiny but expanding threat. We're going to look at where it lives, how it manages to survive, and most importantly, why its territory is growing, which brings it into closer and closer contact with all of us.
Just look at this map. It shows you how widespread this tick is. We're talking from North Africa all the way across Europe. But the really critical story here is that its habitat is actually getting bigger. You know, thanks to climate change and milder winters, these ticks are pushing further north into places like Scandinavia and are even climbing higher up into mountain ranges. Basically, their world is expanding, which means our chances of running into them are going up too.
Now, to really understand the threat, we've got to understand the creature itself. So let's zoom in a little bit on its biology. What exactly is an Ixodes ricinus?
Okay, first things first, let's clear something up. A tick is not a simple single-celled thing like a protozoan. Nope. As you can see from how complex it is, it's a metazoan, a full-on, multicellular animal with specialized organs and tissues. It's an animal, just a very, very small one. And its entire lifestyle, its whole purpose, is defined by being an ectoparasite. That's just a fancy way of saying it lives on the outside of its host. It latches onto skin to get the blood meal it needs to survive and grow. This is the opposite of an endoparasite, which would live inside the body.
This chart really puts the pick in its place in the grand scheme of things. It's an animal, obviously, but look right here, at its class, arachnid. And that is the key takeaway. Ticks are not insects. They are arachnids, which makes them cousins to spiders and scorpions, not mosquitoes or flies.
Now this is where it gets really fascinating. Let's look at its life cycle. It's this complex, multi-year journey that is absolutely central to how it spreads disease so effectively. The whole journey starts with thousands of eggs laid in the leaf litter. From these, a tiny six-legged larva hatches, and its only goal is to find its first host, usually a small animal like a mouse. After it gets its blood meal, it drops off, molts, and turns into an eight-legged nymph, and then it has to find a second host. It feeds again, drops off, and molts one last time to become an adult. That adult then seeks a third, much larger host, like a deer or us, to feed and finally reproduce. Think about that. 3 different hosts, a process that can take 3 years. Every single meal is another chance to pick up a disease and pass it on to the next host.
And this is so important to understand. We might think of adult ticks, but it's actually the tiny nymph stage that's the biggest threat to us humans. Why? Well, there are way more of them, and at only 1.5 millimeters long, they are incredibly difficult to spot before they've already bitten you and potentially passed on a disease. So we know the carrier, we know how it lives. Let's talk about what it carries. The impact on human health is huge, and there's one disease in particular that really stands out. We're talking about Lyme borreliosis, which is caused by the bacterium Borrelia burgdorferi. It's the most common disease these ticks transmit, and it usually happens in stages. Early on, you might see that classic bullseye rash. It's called erythema migrans. But if it isn't treated, the infection can spread through the body, leading to scary stuff like neurological issues or even heart problems. And if it goes unchecked for months or even years, it can lead to some really severe arthritis or chronic neurological conditions.
Right. So with symptoms that can be so varied and sometimes so subtle, how on earth can doctors be sure it's actually a tick-borne infection?
Well, the confirmation really comes down to modern science. We now have these powerful diagnostic tools that can look for the signature of these pathogens directly and tell us exactly what's making someone sick.
A key tool here is the polymerase chain reaction, or PCR test.
Yep, the same technology a lot of us got very familiar with recently. It's a molecular technique that's kind of like a genetic detective. It finds and makes millions of copies of the pathogen's unique genetic fingerprint. So for Borrelia burgdorferi, testing fluid from a rash or an inflamed joint can give a super accurate diagnosis. For other things, like the tick-borne encephalitis virus, doctors can test blood or cerebral spinal fluid. It's a really precise way to identify the microscopic culprit.
And the science is definitely not standing still. Researchers are now using even more advanced tools like next-generation sequencing to map out all the different pathogens a single tick might be carrying. And this isn't just about diagnosing one person. It's about tracking how these diseases are changing and trying to predict where the next hotspots might pop up.
Just so you know, we compiled all the information for this explainer using a Gemini deep search. If you want to dive into the primary research papers and sources yourself, you can find a complete list in the Notebook LM document that we've linked for you down in the description.
So, that's our look at the sheep tick, Ixodes ricinus. If you found this helpful, please do us a huge favor and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. We'd also really love to hear what you think, so please leave your questions and any feedback you have in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.